Hey guys, today I'm here with a good old-fashioned haul video, a collective haul if you remember that term from a few years ago on YouTube. Basically, this haul has been in the works for the past 3 or 4 months. I picked up some of these things during Black Friday when I was in the States over Christmas. I will have my LA and San Francisco hauls linked down below, and then a few random things that I have picked up along the way, so let's go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and kick it off with Ulta. That is always a place that I need to go when I am in the United States. I picked up a bunch of stuff, but a lot of it was from the drugstore side of Ulta, so you'll see a drugstore haul coming up shortly, but there were a few things on the high-end side that I was definitely interested in trying. The first is from Dose of Colors. This is their, oops, upside down, Sassy Sienna palette, and this is full of warm but vibrant mattes, and I was like, yes please. I had not played with these palettes before. They've got a bunch of different ones that all look really gorgeous, but this one spoke to me the most. It's what I'm wearing on my eyes now in combination with something else that I will be mentioning. It was my first time using this today, but so far so good. Really, really beautiful shades. It is a warm palette, but at the same time it is a little bit on the unique side considering it is all matte, and that these shades do have a little bit more coral in them, which is nice. It's not just like a true brown, a rusty brown. There is a lot of vibrancy in there, which I think is really pretty. And then the next thing that I grabbed is from Urban Decay. This is their all-nighter concealer, and as I mentioned, I have had these products for a little while, so I did use this in a Get Ready With Me, which will be linked down below. This to me has been the closest product that I have tried to the Tarte Shape Tape in consistency and in coverage and in wear time as well. This basically sticks to your face. That being said, I do need to test it out a little bit more, and I do have the Makeup Revolution concealer along with the ColourPop concealer, which I will be testing out because I'm always on the hunt for a good full coverage concealer, because I know I talk about Shape Tape a lot and I am looking to be able to mix it up for sure, so this is definitely a contender. Another place that I was really excited to check out while I was in LA is Naimies, and I believe this is only in LA, I'm not totally sure, but it's a beauty supply store that has gotten quite famous, I guess, because a lot of really popular YouTubers go there all the time, and it is a beauty supply store that has a big range of products. And when I went in, it was funny because I knew that I had to go to the back to go up the stairs to get to the actual beauty supply because they've got some hair stuff from watching people's vlogs of them going in there, and I literally had never stepped foot in there before. So they do stock Lorac, which is one of my absolute favorite brands and a brand that I'm always eyeing to see what they have while I'm in the United States. And then I also picked this up. Actually, my friend Chloe, bless her heart, treated me to a few items while I was there. If you missed my LA vlog, I will link to her down below. She is beautiful. She's gonna be famous. She's already kind of famous. She's like a singer, and I'm so proud of her. We went to high school together. Anyways, I got the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. I have been loving the loose translucent powder. As I mentioned in my monthly makeup basket, I am very late to that, but I also wanted to try this out, and I'm curious to try it against the new Becca powder, which is kind of a brightening, translucent-y under eye powder. So I used this for the first time today. So far, so good. Then the other shade that I have on my eyes today is from this palette. It is the Lorac Unzipped. I know that. I have the Lorac Unzipped Gold, and I absolutely love it. This is the Unzipped Desert Sunset, and first of all, I don't love this packaging because can you see how it, like, it's cool that it does this, but at the same time, you're just asking for trouble. Anyways, this is a beautiful palette. I've always been a huge fan of Lorac shadows. I'm wearing the shade Illusion on my lid today. It seems really, really beautiful. It's a nice kind of unique palette, but at the same time, I feel like you can get some great day looks out of it, or you can add things like the purples, the burgundies. I love this kind of Dunes peachy shade in there too, which I think is really beautiful. So again, this was kind of my first time playing with it today, but I've always had really, really good experiences with Lorac shadows. And then the last item from Lorac is this contour palette. I think I have debated this every single time. I used to travel to the States, like my previous job, I was there for about 1.5 years, and I probably went to the United States close to 10 times for sure. Every time I went, and even before that, I was always looking at this palette. This is the contour palette, and I love Lorac's powder formula, so I was really curious. I forgot to use this on my face today, but stay tuned. I will be doing a video using some of these newer products. I will say that these are all really cool tones. So it's definitely a true contour palette. This shade is going to be quite light. I think I'm going to be able to mix these two together. I do like these highlight shades because they're matte, and I do like a pigmented under eye shade. And then this shimmer highlight is a little pearly for my liking, but I'm going to need to play around with this a little bit more. It is kind of underrated. You don't hear a lot of people talk about Lorac. You hear people talk about the Mega Pro come Christmas time, but in general, it doesn't get a ton of hype. So I'll be testing this out. It kind of reminds me of the Kat Von D palette in the texture, super smooth and quite pigmented. So more recently, I've begun to take a closer look at beautyboutique.ca, which is Shoppers Drug Mart. If you're American, it's a Canadian drugstore similar to Ulta in the sense that it has both high-end and drugstore makeup, and they recently, or last year anyways, created an e-commerce site if you're not familiar, so you can actually buy the high-end makeup portion on their website. I am praying to the makeup gods that they eventually put the drugstore items on there, because that would change the game for Canada, because we have such a hard time finding drugstore products. Sometimes the launches pop up sporadically, you can never find them. Just to have them there in one place would be glorious. But I have been really enjoying the Beauty Boutique because they do stock popular high-end products, but I really enjoy their point system because the points I can actually use in store to buy high-end drugstore or like paper towel, whatever it may be. And then they also have spend your points events where you actually get more money for your points than you normally would on an average day. So that is what these two separate orders are from, kind of spend your points events. And just not to like make this a whole Beauty Boutique video, but I have been really impressed, and if you are Canadian and you haven't been looking into it, it's definitely a great option. And I like that it kind of feels luxe because these are high-end products that you're buying. It comes in this nice box. It comes with the tissue paper, which obviously is not necessary, kind of wasteful. You get the little bag here with your samples in it and everything, so it's not necessary. I get that for sure, but at the same time, when you place a Sephora order and you, for example, like VIB last year, I think it was, I spent 350 bucks, and it just came in a box, and the samples are just thrown in there, and there's no tissue paper, and I don't know, it's just not as nice of an experience. So I have been really impressed with that. But anyways, what I have actually purchased. So the first Spend Your Points event, I got these two items, and I have mentioned this before, but I wanted to mention them together. I think I was supposed to spend like over $100. This is like 80-something dollars on its own, and I spent 20 bucks. So by using my points, so this is the Guerlain L'Or Primer, and then what I have on my lips today is the Urban Decay Liquid Lipstick in 1993, and this was actually on sale for $12. I don't know if they're repackaging these or what's going on. I forgot to look into it. Then more recently, they had another Spend Your Points event, and I think I spent $8 on these two concealers. And so they have the Urban Decay Naked Skin, which is their weightless complete coverage concealer. I've been meaning to try this for years and was quite impressed with the all-nighter, so I thought I would try this one. And then I mentioned this one as well in my recent vlog. I think it was Bailey B was chatting about it, so I was curious. It is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Waterproof All Day Extreme Wear Concealer. Again, always on the hunt for a good full coverage concealer. I'm wearing this today. It doesn't feel as full coverage as Shape Tape, but I'm gonna need to play around with it some more. Now that I've said a few ill words about shipping from Sephora, let's talk about what I bought from Sephora, because I'm still gonna buy from them. I still love Sephora, but I just would like some better points, you know, just a better point system. I feel like they're starting to realize they're starting to amp up the game. Anyways, I purchased the Violet Voss hashtag palette. I mentioned this in my monthly makeup basket, but this just appealed to me to no end. The warm shades, the golds, the oranges, the purples, I am just so excited about this. I have the Holy Grail palette, and I know I don't talk about it very much, but if you would like to see a 3 looks 1 palette on this, I'm kind of dying to do one of them, so let me know. I just think the shades are so incredibly beautiful, and my only kind of qualm with this is that the packaging feels a little bit cheap. It doesn't feel cheap, it looks cheap. And I wasn't gonna buy this, but because it was on the Sephora website, I was like, okay, that's a much safer route than ordering from the Violet Voss website and a bunch of customs and stuff. And when I got it, the box just looked a little bit cheap. The packaging looks a little bit cheap. Like, this is a $60 palette Canadian. I don't know, the high 40s American. Like, you're ballin' now. You're at Sephora, you gotta play with the big boys. And I feel like the palette has more weight to it than the original Violet Voss that I have, but I still think that they could step up their game in packaging. And similar to the Beauty Boutique comment, Again, not necessary, but when you're paying a high price tag, you want to see that reflected not only in the quality of the product, but in the packaging too, if I'm being completely honest. So I would like to see them step up the game on the packaging, but the palette itself looks gorgeous. Then I also got 2 bronzers. I forgot to include close-up swatches of these because I actually already filmed this haul like a month ago and I had a whole hard drive issue anyways. So I have the NARS Philosophes, probably butchering that, bronzer, wearing that today. And I have been really liking this. It's one of those kind of densely packed bronzers that you go in with a little bit of a denser brush, or you can go super, super natural with it. And then again, from Laura Mercier, another kind of, this isn't even a bronzer, but I bought it to act as a bronzer. It is the Kendo Glow Sheer Perfecting Powder, a really lightweight, kind of satiny powder. This one is in the shade 6. Again, a denser brush will give you a more dense application, but at the same time, it has a satin finish, really, really lightweight. I have just been so into bronzers this past year, and all makeup in general, let's be honest, but I wanted to try this out because if you are looking for a bronzer, keep in mind that you can always look to a face powder if you can't find a bronzer that suits your skin tone because, you know, for the most part, powder is powder. I have a few items from MAC here, and it is so easy to get caught up in all of MAC's new launches and forget about all the kind of staple products that have been around for so long. Up until last year, or maybe it was late 2016 actually, in my first 12 days of foundation, I hadn't tried the Studio Fix liquid, and I love Studio Fix powder, and I tried the liquid and I was like, damn, that is good. So I thought I would try some more MAC foundations, and you will see these in upcoming Oily Skin Diaries over the next year, if I'm being completely honest, because new foundations are going to take precedence over these, but you will see these coming up and I will be testing them. First, I have the MAC Studio Tech, which is kind of a cream foundation. It's supposed to be quite full coverage. Then I have the Pro Longwear foundation. I've gotten tons of requests about this, and the Pro Longwear concealer has been around forever, and it's a concealer that I've repurchased many times, so I'm excited to try the foundation. And then the last is the Match Master, and this is, I'm not sure if this is supposed to be medium coverage or anything. I basically just went on and bought a bunch that seemed interesting. This one I have in the shade 5. It kind of peeves me that they didn't do the whole like NC42 thing, or at least could have given us a guide on their website. I found a guide on Google, but I'm like, why would you change your naming convention? And if you are, please like help us. I'm sure you could like chat with someone on their, you know, anyways. Beside the point, I'm going to be testing this out and I will get back to you on all of these foundations. If any of them are intriguing you more than the other ones, let me know which one you would like to see first. Lastly, I have 2 random items. The first is from Sacha. This is their Buttercup setting powder. This one is in the light Buttercup. They also have a deeper Buttercup, which is better for deeper skin tones, which always looked a little bit deep for me, so I thought I would try this one out. Under eye powders, contours. I don't know why I try and justify everything I buy. I'm like, I'm so into bronzers right now. I'm so into contours. No, I'm just into makeup all times. But I was curious to try this because some people absolutely love it, but then there's also these like contrasting reviews of people who had horrible reactions to this. So hopefully I end up on the brighter side of this. It looks to be a really good brightening under eye powder, so I'm excited to try it, and a great option for deeper skin. And then the last item is from Decay. This is their Hylamide Pore Flush, and it's supposed to be good for pore maintenance and for oil control. It's a kind of a skincare slash makeup prep step. So I have used this once or twice, haven't really noticed a huge difference yet, but I'm gonna need to keep playing around with it. And it smells really good. It is under 20 bucks, and I have enjoyed a lot of their skincare, so hopefully this will be good too. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this haul. Let me know down below what you would like to see more about, and if you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!